COINTELPRO, the FBI's clandestine series of projects intended to bring American activism to its knees. But what was COINTELPRO really? When did it happen? Who were its targets? And what terrifying illegal methods were employed under its purview? There's only one way to find out, but be warned, by the time this video is over, the FBI is a government agency supposedly intended to protect American civilians from the worst criminals imaginable, from domestic terrorists to serial killers. But who do you run to when the FBI wants you dead? It may seem like the high-concept premise of the latest Jason Bourne movie, but this was actually the terrifying reality faced by a number of political leaders and public figures as a result of COINTELPRO, the FBI's clandestine series of projects intended to bring American activism to its knees. But what was COINTELPRO really? When did it happen? Who were its targets? And what terrifying illegal methods were employed under its purview? There's only one way to find out, but be warned, by the time this video is over, the FBI won't seem like the brave crime stoppers the movies often paint them as. Under COINTELPRO, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, they were responsible for everything from psychological warfare to cold-blooded murder, all committed against mostly non-violent individuals whose greatest crime was questioning the system. Just how far the system will go to silence these questions will alarm and terrify you. And at the heart of it all was FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who opened a nightmarish Pandora's box of government overreach and illegal domestic espionage. The year was 1956, and the Red Scare is in full swing. You don't need to be an expert in American political history to know that mid-1950s America was terrified of communism. The threat of the bomb loomed large over American psyches, and Soviet spies and sleeper agents seemed to lurk in every shadow. Russia and the West were fighting a culture war, and the U.S. was scared it was losing. When someone is afraid and backed into a corner, there's almost nothing they won't do to protect themselves, whether the initial fear is justified or not. The U.S. needed bold strategies to fight the perceived communist threat growing within their own borders, and J. Edgar Hoover was on the case. He gave his underlings a sweeping directive to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize any political groups deemed too submersive for the FBI's liking. Hoover had the tacit permission of President Eisenhower and soon after President Kennedy, and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy personally signed off on a number of covert projects under the COINTELPRO banner. Of course, while every sinister government project requires some enabling bureaucrats to sign all the permission slips, there always needs to be some triggermen willing to get their hands dirty and get the dastardly job done. In this case, we have William C. Sullivan, director of the FBI's domestic intelligence operations. Sullivan's first target was the Communist Party of America, who, on name alone, were obviously no friends of the Cold War FBI. Some of the techniques used by the FBI to destroy the Communist Party from the inside, including having agents sending threatening anonymous phone calls, having the IRS constantly audit them, and sending in forged documents to sow dissent among the party's ranks. You'll come to notice that this is a running theme among the COINTELPRO projects, using psychological warfare tactics to turn groups against each other and alienate their members. To this end, literally nothing was off the table. FBI agents infiltrating meetings and posing as members to cause conflict, intelligence gathering for blackmail and extortion, and even spreading rumors to increase the tension. Though compared to just how horrific and violent their methods would later become, some blackmail and rumor spreading is pretty quaint. While the Communist Party was a perfect training ground for refining their domestic espionage techniques, the activities that would make COINTELPRO infamous were perpetrated against civil rights groups, starting in the late 50s and continuing through the 60s. Dr. T.R.M. Howard, a prominent black surgeon, entrepreneur, and civil rights leader, was critical of the FBI's inaction on a number of infamous hate crimes, including the murders of Emmett Till and George Washington Lee. This prompted Hoover to turn the dangerous attentions of Sullivan and his FBI cronies to black civil rights groups, starting with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, on the grounds that they were supposedly hotbeds of subversive communist activity. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference was just the tip of the iceberg, though. During their 15-year heyday, COINTELPRO would infiltrate and attack the Black Panther Party, anti-Vietnam War organizers, feminist groups, environmentalist and animal rights groups, the Nation of Islam, the Young Lords Puerto Rico Independence Group, and the American Indian Movement. In their very minor defense, they also did take on the Ku Klux Klan, but when you need to compare yourself to the Klan to have moral high ground, you're not doing well. Perhaps their most infamous victims were two of the most well-known civil rights leaders in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. It all gets a whole lot worse from here. In 1963, Dr. King gave his iconic I Have a Dream speech during the March on Washington, while generations of people across the world were touched and inspired by this incredible piece of history. The FBI were terrified. Dr. King was dreaming too big for their liking, and they wanted to put him in his place, that place being 6 feet below the ground. Hoover ordered Sullivan to turn his attention to discrediting and destroying King and the movement he'd come to represent. Sullivan subsequently released a horrifically racist statement. In the light of King's powerful demagogic speech, we must mark him now, if we've not done so before, as the most dangerous Negro of the future in this nation from the standpoint of communism, the Negro and national security. The espionage began. King's home and hotel rooms were bugged, and his phones were tapped. The FBI was listening intently to his every word for blackmail material that they could use to silence King. You're probably asking, silence him? As in pressure him into discontinuing activism and renouncing his beliefs? To which we'd answer, no. They wanted Dr. King to kill himself. In 1964, after years of collecting audio evidence of Dr. King's marital affairs, King was sent a suicide package 2 days before he was supposed to collect his Nobel Peace Prize. The package included copies of the incriminating audio, as well as a truly horrifying letter. The letter, while anonymous, is believed to some to have been written by Sullivan himself. It's a verbally abusive speech that opens with King. In view of your low-grade, abnormal personal behavior, I will not dignify your name with either a Mr. or Reverend or a Doctor, and your last name calls to mind only the type of kings, such as King Henry VIII, and his countless acts of adultery and immoral conduct lower than that of a beast. The letter almost reads like the cruelest internet comment you've ever seen, complete with a plethora of personal insults and spelling errors. And much like an internet troll with a serious mean streak, the letter ends by attempting to pressure Dr. King into committing suicide. It reads, King, there is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason, and it has a definite practical significance. You are done. There is but one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation. While for legal reasons they stop just short of saying straight up, kill yourself or we'll humiliate you, the implications are crystal clear. When King didn't give in and take his own life, Cartha Deloge, the FBI assistant director at the time, began leaking the incriminating evidence to every news outlet imaginable. They were ruthless in their willingness to destroy reputations and lives to achieve their goals. But things were going to get a whole lot worse. While they were trying to manipulate Dr. King into taking his own life, the FBI were stoking the fires of tension among the Nation of Islam and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, both known for their association with civil rights leader El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X. Through COINTELPRO, the FBI widened the rift between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam. After a sustained harassment campaign involving infiltration, rumor mongering, and the artificial elevation of conflict, the disagreements of Malcolm X and Muhammad turned deadly, and Malcolm X was assassinated by some Nation of Islam gunmen. While the FBI denied direct involvement in the assassination, there's extremely credible evidence that their involvement in exacerbating the conflict led to the murder. As the 1960s drew on, the FBI intensified its COINTELPRO operations against prominent civil rights groups, Dr. King and his associates in particular. This project was known as COINTELPRO Black Hate. According to a 1968 FBI memo, they feared that Martin Luther King Jr. was becoming a kind of messiah figure and would unite the various disparate civil rights groups into a force that could truly be reckoned with. If Dr. King ever decided to reject nonviolence and lead to an armed revolt, they would be in serious trouble. King was public enemy number one, but prominent members of groups like the Black Panthers weren't far behind. All of them had to go. The FBI concluded with numerous police departments in cities with considerable Black Panther presences, including San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, Philadelphia, and Chicago. They would coordinate raids into the homes of Black Panther members without warrants, during which many of said members were shot dead by police. One particularly infamous example is the assassination of Chicago Black Panther Party chairman Fred Hampton. On December 4th, 1969, Hampton was drugged and incapacitated by deep cover FBI infiltrator William O'Neill. A Chicago PD tactical unit then entered his home at the FBI's behest and murdered Hampton in his bed in cold blood. No crime was too cruel and no tactic was too underhanded for COINTELPRO. With the help of colluding police departments, the FBI was able to launch a brutal harassment campaign against figures in the world of leftist politics and civil rights. Specific individuals individuals like Elmer Geronimo Pratt, a Black Panther Party leader, were accused of crimes they didn't commit and arrested on false pretenses. Evidence was falsified, witnesses were intimidated, and legality was twisted to serve whatever purpose the FBI wanted it to. Pratt spent 27 years in jail for a fallacious murder charge just because he was a member of the Panthers. Members of the KKK, like Gary Thomas Rowe, were kept on the FBI payroll as informants, while still committing atrocities like the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. And this wasn't an isolated incident. Under COINTELPRO, it was clear that the FBI preferred hardline white supremacist groups to black liberation movements. They funded and supported former members of the 1960s far-right group the Minutemen in their goal to create this secret army organization, essentially a militant terrorist cell that fought against civil rights groups with tactics of intimidation and outright violence. Hundreds, if not thousands, of potential enemies of the FBI were spied on with everything from wiretaps to direct stalking techniques. They even teamed up with the CIA in 1967 as part of their own domestic spying project, Operation Chaos. The COINTELPRO reign of terror would consume the whole decade, a decade mostly known for flower power, free love, and imported British rock. The whole program was so sprawling that even figures like James Baldwin, Ernest Hemingway, and Muhammad Ali were on their list of enemies. Incidentally, Muhammad Ali ended up being a major force in the end of the COINTELPRO operations, as his 1971 fight with Joe Frazier acted as a form of cover, while activist group Citizens Commission to investigate the FBI broke into an FBI field office in Pennsylvania. The group stole critical files on the COINTELPRO operations and blew the lid on the whole sordid affair, leading to considerable scandals and shame for the FBI and the public eye. Within a year, J. Edgar Hoover had announced that centralized COINTELPRO operations were officially over, and while the FBI has hardly been squeaky clean since, the dissolution of the centralized COINTELPRO operations was an undeniable win for anyone who likes the idea of living in a truly free country. Of course, only a fraction of the files were stolen, and many of the files subsequently released by the FBI have been heavily altered and redacted. The fact is, we will never know the full extent of the FBI's sinister activities between 1956 and 1971. But what we do know is that the FBI activities under the COINTELPRO umbrella were some of the most terrifying and illegal in American history. Groups who were simply exercising their quintessentially American First Amendment rights were attacked, defamed, arrested, and dissolved. And the people who formed these groups were at best threatened and manipulated, and at worst murdered and pressured towards suicide. We wish we could give you a more comforting ending, but instead, we'll leave you with two questions. What are the chances that COINTELPRO was an isolated incident? And what else have the FBI done that we don't even know about? Check out FBI's most violent, most wanted of all time, and FBI versus CIA. How do they compare? For more fascinating FBI facts.
Alright, y'all, I just thought I had to get that out there real quick. Let me go to the comments and shit. Hey, Claude, how come you don't chat on here no more? I mean, I do, bro. I do, but, you know, I got advertisements and shit on my van about, you know, this channel and you know, for people, if they want to understand why, you know, things are happening the way they're happening, and, you know, it's better if I put some fucking, you know, some documented, some certified shit out there, rather just coming from me. That way, you know, people fucking, cause, you know, if they don't see it on paper, if they don't see anything like that, man, then they think everything's a fucking joke. They think you're delusional. They go with the narrative. And, you know, I just want to put some stuff out there that's, you know, documented that this program does exist, whether people choose to believe it or not. But yeah, I do talk on here, man. I do talk on here, but, you know, like I said, it's this channel is more than just me, man. It's educational purposes and all types of shit. Like, and I don't know everything, so see. You know, that even just that right there, that pretty much summed this program up in a fucking nutshell. From them trying to get people to commit suicide, from, you know, the psychological warfare to, like, that pretty much covered everything about this program. Like, no, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I can't do nothing about the viewing, you guys. That's just how they, you know, that's how this app does. And it's the only one that they haven't, like, fucking gotten to yet. Or they have, but they haven't, you know, done any fucking shit to it to where I can't use it. Let's see. Hey, Wendy. Be about to comment until after video podcast. Oh, no, just to the podcast. The podcast. My bad. I should have said podcast. Usually, if I put a podcast on, like, if I'm not, because sometimes another thing, like, that's another thing, college kid. Like, sometimes I you know, I download certain podcasts and then I go to sleep. Like, I'll leave it the live on for you guys to be able to communicate with each other and shit. Just, you know, to give, you know, if there's no place to go where, and you know, you feel like blowing off some steam or whatever. You know, like, I'm not gonna be on every time I do a live. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna be on there. Like, I do lives for you guys as well, so you guys can communicate it and all that. I took antipsychotics and my gang. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. I took antipsychotics and my gang stalking went away. Alright, no disrespect, college kid, but I don't think that was gang stalking you were experiencing. That was probably like some, you know, I don't know, but you know, ain't no pills gonna take that shit away. This is like real life. If you just heard the little podcast that was just on, this isn't no fucking I don't know, man. I don't know, college kid, but it's definitely not gang stalking. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just, you know, I'm laughing at if pills took it away, trust me, I'd have took pills a long fucking time ago. You know, pills don't take fucking this shit away. This is real life, man. This isn't something that's made up in your head. Like, you know, and I don't know, man. Maybe you were experiencing something else and you were just looking it up on YouTube and you know, you grabbed at the first thing that's somewhat related to your situation, but you know, it definitely wasn't going through this gang stalking, predictive policing, community watch, community, you know, it's too many people, you know, and I got videos with one headlight, people following me with one headlight. You take them pills and you go to my videos and you see if one of those lights pop back on. You know, if one of those lights, like this one right here, speaking of the devil, If one of those lights right there happen to pop on, if you see two headlights on, my friend, right there, then yeah, you might be doing good. That pill is working for you. And maybe we all should take some of those fucking pills. But, you know, speaking of the devil, right? Yeah, if you don't see that, my friend, then yeah, introduce me to the doctor that fucking diagnosed you, so I can be diagnosed and I can get a nice healthy serving of those fucking pills, man. But if you see one headlight just as I and everybody else on this fucking channel sees, then you've been convinced wrong, my friend. And whatever, you're not being targeted. It's just something else that maybe that medication did help. Cool. If they work, then you aren't. Yeah, definitely be glad, man. Try some pills, it'll go away. Alright, college kid, this is where, if I catch a couple more comments like this, you're gonna fucking, the one thing I won't allow you to do, my friend, look at this fucking bullshit. The one thing I won't allow you to do, you can say whatever you want to say about me, and all that, but I'm not gonna let you sway the people that don't know about this program into thinking that we have some type of mental issue. It's hard enough to try and fucking expose this program without having a person that claims to be targeted saying that taking pills will fucking stop this shit. And like Harry Minor said, man, you should be happy if you took the pills and it went away, because this gang stalking shit don't go away, bro. It doesn't, definitely. Pharmaceuticals are part of what they use to brainwash, do MK Ultra on you, keep you from thinking. Yeah, man, and I remember when I first was targeted, it was this one dude named Jiminy Cricket. And he was basically predicting everything that I would find out later in my research in this program. Like, everything he was fucking saying, other than his own personal experiences about how they, made him think he was married to certain people and shit. Like, his personal experiences and shit. But other than that, like, everything he spoke about this program, as far as the computer, the fucking, all the fucking shit, like, literally, like, at first when I fucking, like, I never put it down on the comment section and shit, because I was just going through this and it was so much for me. I was kind of like fucking super blown away by what he was saying. And fucking like, in my head, I'm thinking, man, this dude is fucking nuts, man. This, like, this, this definitely can't be what the fuck I'm going through. But then, I started researching that shit. And then everything as he's fucking telling like from the supercomputer to the shit how they can read your fucking thoughts, to the fucking how they can send fucking subliminal messages into your head. Like, I'm sitting here thinking this guy is crazy and shit, but I'm fucking, and you know, another targeted individual sends, and I can't find it for shit, but sends me fucking documentation. Like, there's literally a military documentation out that fucking, you know, it teaches people. It's like a handbook to fucking smear campaigning people and shit. Like, it literally tells you step by fucking step how to fucking do this fucking smear campaign. And I've been trying to find it. But I can't find that fucking shit for nothing, man. And it's literally fucking out there. And I know it's somewhere in my email. It's just fucking lost or some shit because I don't know. They probably snatched it off, but anyways, this dude Jiminy Cricket, man, everything he was saying completely fucking true. Some of the shit that he was saying that hadn't happened to me yet, you feel me? You know, later on down the line, that shit started fucking happening. Later on down the line, it started happening. But before it started happening later on down the line, I remember, like, all of a sudden, just as I'm fucking starting to pay attention to everything this dude is saying, man, like, that he was pretty much my fucking go-to and shit because, you know, I was learning that everything he was saying was fucking true. And, you know, I was seeing, you know, documented shit. I was hearing other targeted individuals saying that they experienced something that felt somewhat like that, and you know, a lot of people you know, solidifying what he said. And fucking all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, he pops up and says, you know, I went to the doctors, I got my fucking, you know, diagnosis, and I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. They gave me these pills, and now I don't go through none of it. And you know, I realized that what was going on was just a figment of my imagination. And that's what it sounds like. You're on that path of fucking redirecting the people and making people think, you know. And I'm not saying that you know, this is what the case is. I'm not. What I am saying is, you know, either you're not going through this, or whatever fucking shit they put you on, man, is just, you know, you know, it's a complete fucking reality changer, man, because this shit is real. This ain't nothing that no fucking pill, no hypnotism. You know, the only way you can probably get away from this is fucking virtual reality. And fucking if you get in there, I don't even think you can get away from it in virtual reality. You fuck around, you know, you fuck around and go into virtual reality, fuck. You'll be surrounded by nothing but those motherfuckers. So, you know, just saying, you know, the only way, look at this fucking weirdo just staring at me like a wizard and shit, and it's all black with and they always, I don't know, for some reason, they always like to fucking got a Tesla creeping up behind me, ladies and gentlemen. See that shiny light? Not doing nothing illegal, Mr. Domestic Terrorist. Just sitting here smoking my pot. Hopefully that's okay with you and you won't shoot none of your frequencies, none of your EMF broadcasting into my vehicle and start hurting my animals. By the way, have a nice night, Mr. Domestic Terrorist, or Mrs. I can't see your face because you're brightening me. But yeah, like I know, it scrolled down to the last comment, so I just seen your comment, Mo. Like I know, schizophrenia. I know, schizophrenia is legitimate, but this program, you know, like schizophrenia is legitimate, but this program has nothing to do with schizophrenia. The only thing this program probably has to do with schizophrenia is that it can give you schizophrenia. But none of us started out, well, I can't say they didn't run this program on somebody with it already, but none of, not pretty 9 times out of 10, none of us started out with fucking schizophrenia. Though there may be some people who have, but the only thing this program can do is increase the bullshit. I don't know what that motherfucker doing. Let me go park in front of this car. This fucking word on. They like that. It's bright the shit out of motherfuckers. You don't know what the fuck is in them headlights, man. Fucking military grade weapons inside of the fucking headlights. What the fuck is going on with America? Well, America's been this way for years. America's been this way for years. Just fucking liars. They tell you freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of all of that shit. And as soon as you open your mouth to contest anything they say, they send the war dogs on you. The war hounds, the mutts. Uh-oh. Listen. When you drive your car back and forth, you talk hella shit. And it should be way over with. It should be way over with, but for about 2 or 3 hours, you hear his ass talking. Every time you drive around the you hear that laugh. Even the people that's normal, even the people that's catchy, they catchy. I know, I'm not the only one. Be out here and be like, why is that nigga still crying? I said, that's not me crying. That's that damn car crying. That's not me crying. That's not me crying. I be talking to myself, and it might sound like I'm crying, but that's not me talking. That's that motherfucker. That's that program you got in your head that's crying. It really is. So when I get high, y'all get mad. That's the thing. You get mad. For those who don't understand what this domestic terrorist program is, you see this shit? They're everywhere. They post them everywhere. They're speaking on me talking on a fucking megaphone. You guys think this is a joke? The head sits on, they be acting crazy as fuck. And the system's called Iblis. The damn satellite's called Iblis. Satan. In the Nation of Islam, it's called either Michael, you can call it Michael or Gabriel. Gabriel, Michael. That in Catholic you can call it Gabriel, Michael. You can call it Michael in the Quran. But then yeah, I hear you, college kid. I'm not. You're not listening to what he's saying. So, I'm not even gonna respond to anything else you say, man, because it sounds like you're trying to listen to what he's saying. That's the thing. He's speaking on the program, talking about satellites, shit being in your head, and all types of shit. This is what you call directed conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's the camera, bro. I can't, when I zoom in, that's what it does. Notice the red beanie? You guys notice the red beanie? You paying attention to shit? But yeah, man. You gotta pay attention to shit, college kid, man. I don't know. If that ain't enough to fucking, like they got him on every point, bro. Like they know, like when people park behind me, they already know. Like if somebody parks behind me and they're shining that bullshit too much, I always move up, and I move up to where there's no parking space behind me. Every time, and they set people at those points all the fucking time. Like right here, there's nobody that can park behind me. Back there, I could have parked where nobody could park behind me, but they had somebody that was fucking, they had their fucking, I could see them ahead of time to where I just drove ahead and drove to the next spot. This dude was hiding like in the cuts, as you could see, behind the bushes and shit, so I couldn't really see him not to fucking park here. But at every fucking point there is to where no one can park behind me, they always have someone on the side of me. He knew I was fucking gonna come here. That's why he was sitting up. You feel me? He was sitting up. See, he ain't sitting up no more. Hold on. See, he ain't sitting up no more. He's laying down now. I came here. He popped up and started saying that bullshit. He started talking that bullshit. And he said what he had to say. Did his little directed conversation and laid fucking back down. These are homeless people that fucking, of course they're gonna sleep outside, period, or wherever they fucking sleep. He might not even be homeless. He might just be on shift, and he's fucking on shift and lives in one of these fucking houses where they pay rent for him. Saying all that to say, they have him in the fucking location, you feel me? They fucking have him, designated for me. They try and, and it's not really predictive. Like they don't predict, like they can predict and read your thoughts, but these street people and these fucking handlers and shit, they don't, they just go off your routine, man. Like before, like I started parking here and fucking on these destinations where no one could park behind me, there would be no one right here set up on the sides and shit. But a repetitive cycle is I park there, somebody comes behind me, because usually they have someone, based on my routine, they'll have someone parked in back at the very last fucking, so I won't ever be able to park at the very last place where no one can park, because if they park behind me there, then they're fucking, the ass of their fucking car be, halfway in the street at the oncoming traffic from the opposite direction and shit. So they can't do that. So they'll always have a car parked there, like literally a dummy fucking car parked there. They'll leave it there all fucking day. And then as soon as I park, they'll get in that motherfucking takeoff. They'll get in that motherfucking takeoff and fucking, Somebody come behind me shining their fucking bullshit lights. So now, as this is what fucking Flurbrun calls an MP3.
It don't matter what you smoke. It doesn't matter what you smoke. Cigarettes too. It was getting it to me when I was hitting the cigarette. And Titi, yeah, this motherfucker they was out there smoking Titi, falling the fuck out.
It's crazy, man. Life is crazy, man. The way they insert these people, man. And that beanie just tells it all. Alright, get out, man. Come on. That beanie tells you everything. If that beanie don't tell you nothing, man, that beanie tells you everything. This shiny red motherfucking beanie. I mean, you could go as far as to say the fucking Masonic colored blanket and shit, black and white. But, we won't get that deep into it. We won't get that deep into it. We'll stick at the shiny red fucking beanie and shit. Like, crazy, man. Drive a motherfucker crazy, why don't you? Drive a motherfucker crazy. Now I just caught the ass end of the comment section. Somebody said college kid just left out. Now notice how when college kid left out, not saying that, but it's kind of crazy that he would mention, that his fucking delirium or bullshit went away. Whatever they say it is, delirious or schizophrenic, whatever. But all of a sudden, when he leaves, look how many people was on here. When he was on here talking that shit, it was like 14, 15 fucking people. And not saying that college kid is a cop or anything, but, the police like to get on here and play their little games and see how far they can go with it. And you can tell their lingo. You know how fucking police talk and shit. Like, they have a certain fucking sarcastic way of speaking and shit. So, thanks to the spirit of the badge, you recognize them. You recognize them because they all become inept with that same lingo, whether it's in their physical actions, their verbal actions, all that shit, the way they walk, the way they talk, their little sarcastic fucking head game bullshit. Where you going today? To the store? Oh wait, the store's that way. No, there's a store this way too, motherfucker. I know there's a store that way. I'm not going to that store. like what the fuck? Like I said, I'm going to the store. Isn't that a fucking enough? There's a store this way as well. Like, look it up on your fucking Google Maps. Actually, it's only like 3 minutes away from here. Just admit that you want to fucking harass. Just admit that you're fucking, what do they call it? Profiling. You're a profiling piece of shit. And you don't want to go, like they say, you don't want to go to the fucking suburbs and start arresting those fucking kids on fucking oxycodone and shit like that. Because those fucking kids belong to the judges and shit. So you'll fucking, to make your quota, you're just gonna fucking pull any fucking body else over and fucking give them the 3rd degree mixed in with a little psychological bullshit. And a person that ain't lying, by the time you get done with him, you're gonna make it seem like he's lying with all your fucking word games and your fucking making people trip over words and shit. Literally, like, that's why they say do not talk to a fucking police officer until you have a lawyer present. Because you could be telling the fucking cop the complete fucking truth. complete fucking truth. And by the time you get done, they will mentally edit every fucking thing you told them. If they don't have it out for you and you're not on the side of fucking, if you're not the one fucking making the fucking police, like, literally, like, if you're not the one if you're fucking haven't been designated, if you're the one that has been designated to their fucking profiling, or someone called the police on you and they just want to, like, you don't speak to those fuckers, man. You don't speak to them, because they will edit your fucking conversation and make you look like you're lying and shit, like, and then they try to throw in that fucking, in my 13 years experience of being a police officer, in my opinion, and, you know, all that fucking bullshit. Fucking the jury just fucking eats that shit up. All they have to say is in their fucking 2 years experience of being a cop, you know, they know the words to fucking trick the fucking people into fucking believing their fucking bullshit. But saying all that to say, you know, police have a certain lingo on here, so. If College Kid is on here, I'm not saying you're the police or anything. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of police that do shit on here. They get on here, they ask certain questions and shit. And, you know, you give everybody the benefit of the doubt. When they say that they're a target, whether some of the stories sound kind of, you know, way out. Whether whatever fucking shit you're experiencing sounds way out or not. You know, we know how way out this program is. We know the type of military weapons they use in this program, the type of visuals, they can, it's all types of bullshit they can do to you with the military weapons, the frequencies, the psychological warfare, all the shit. So, even though some of the stories sound way out, we know our stories sound way out as well. So, for the most part, we give most people that say they're targeted individuals the benefit of the doubt, because, you know, you don't want to send somebody off the deep end and fucking when they're legitimate targets, and, you know, just because we haven't experienced the same thing you've experienced, we write you off and shit. But, you know, when you start doing shit like getting on here and trying to fucking contest like what the fuck is really going on and throw in like it could be mental illness, like that's a whole different story. Like, you know, you gotta, if that's what you want to believe and shit, like you gotta take that shit to a different channel and go congregate with a bunch of fucking people who don't believe this program exists and shit. Because that's not what this channel is about. And, you know, whatever, the pills might have you fucking, I don't know, maybe the pills got you fucking talking like a police officer, or using their fucking lingo as far as saying that this program isn't real and it's a figment of our imagination. And being that you really go through it, or you say you really go through it, you know, there's nothing you can tell us to make us, you know, and I'm not laughing at you, but I'm just saying there's nothing anybody can tell us to make us think that pills are going to make this program go away when we know it's real. We see on the news literally that people are dying behind this program. Like, you know, a 14-year-old boy just lost his life behind this program. 10 people lost their lives behind this program. And you think if we take a pill, that shit's just gonna go away? Like, I mean, if you're an adult, man, you're gonna have to start thinking like an adult, man, and think for yourself, bro. Asking us, like, you know, there's certain questions and shit that there's certain questions and advice you can ask us. You know, we're gonna try and give you the fucking best advice we can, but there's gonna come a time when common sense is gonna have to kick in, and you can't listen to everybody's fucking advice, man. And when it comes to those pills and shit, and you're experiencing this program and those fucking pills, and you asking people if you should fucking take the pills and shit, there's no way in the fucking world that I would ask anybody. Because I know I'm not gonna fucking take the pill. I know from what I've heard from other people and from other fucking targets who have fucking experienced this shit, and you know, we know their main thing is to fucking get us locked in some psych ward or fucking so we can label ourselves schizophrenia. Why in the fuck would you ask somebody if you should put yourself in that position? Like that throws me off, but just because it throws me off and I wouldn't do it, I can't say that you're a perp. Like, I'm not gonna say that you're a perp. I'm saying, like, some of the things that you're fucking, you know, that you're saying and you're doing is, you know. And again, I'm not saying you're a perp, but, you know, it's questionable, man, because it's the same shit that, you know, police get on here and try and do. You know, the people that their little fucking bullshit troll agents get on here and do. They're fucking, you know, those people. Yeah, man, so, you know, I'm just saying, like, man, don't just please don't get on here and try and throw people off with, you guys should take these pills and none of that shit. Don't try and play us with that bullshit, man, because, you know, you if not anything else, you hear that we're totally against that shit. We're totally fucking against that. We speak on it every fucking day. You hear it in my fucking, you hear it when I'm protesting, as far as saying, you know, because since, you know, the police conduct this program and they run this program, when you try and make a police report, they fucking automatically, you know, tell you to fucking take a psychological evaluation. Like, you literally hear me say that fucking every day, bro. Like, when I protest, like, why would you fucking get on here and tell fucking people they should take pills and that shit'll go away when you know damn well that shit ain't gonna go away? And if, you know, if you aren't targeted and you are experiencing something else like schizophrenia or something else to that extent, then maybe it'll go away. But not if you're, you know, dealing with gang stalking. Like, maybe, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to count you out or none of that, but like, maybe you should research different channels like schizophrenia testimonies. Like, look, hey, chill out, no fighting. Like people who have fucking been going through schizophrenia, like, you know, you could type in fucking YouTube, my schizophrenia fucking, my experience with schizophrenia, my testimony, and see if you relate to those things. Like, but yeah, man, this shit don't go away, man. COINTELPRO don't go away. Not when you take pills. Maybe if you take your life, it'll go away. That's the only thing you can take for COINTELPRO to go away, is your fucking life. And none of us are interested in taking our lives right now, I hope. Yeah, yeah, okay. That's the thing, like, okay, yeah. Now I'm just gonna have to. That's legitimate. That's legitimate. Now I'm just not. I'm not gonna take you serious. You know, there are. Yeah, I can't take you serious, college kid, man. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. Maybe if your maybe if your brain was the only thing recording the events that go on, but when you have other people that aren't going through this program that can actually see now, like at first they actually thought you were fucking. This is the thing. Like, this is the thing. While I'll never, nobody will ever be able to fool me with no schizophrenia bullshit or none of that fucking bullshit. You'll never make me think that this shit is just going in my head, because I've literally had people fucking call me whacked the fuck out. Like, people have fucking called me crazy, man. Literally crazy, and stuck with my fucking channel. And stuck with the fucking channel. You feel me? And started to fucking see, like, literally, from people who fucking called me batshit crazy. Literally sticking with the fucking channel and paying attention to every fucking thing, saying, wow, now I know, like, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, how in the fuck did I not know about this shit? How in the fuck did I not know about this shit before? Not many people, not a bunch of people, but just a few, just a couple. I won't even say few, just a couple of people who did, at least have the fucking, I'll say honorability, because it's honorableness or whatever, because it's not, it's not every day that someone calls you crazy because of something they can't see, or because of something that they're asleep on. Like, they call you crazy on it, and then they finally realize it, and they fucking go back and apologize and say, wow, like, you were right, type shit. Like, they'll fucking take that shit and run with it, and they'll fucking see that it's real, but they won't ever go back and fucking apologize to the person that they, So, not only did that shit mean a lot, but it also fucking, it just solidifies everything, for any type of doubt that I might have had into, like, which I don't think I would ever doubt myself, maybe in the beginning, but, I'm too fucking caught up in this bullshit to ever fucking doubt or fucking think that this is some fucking type of mental issue that I'm going through. Like, we literally fucking, and the data exchange and, like, the information exchange, and, like, knowing that I'm not the only one. Like, other people are going through the same shit, and I'm not stupid enough to fucking believe that this is some fucking psychological bullshit to where, okay, like, I have an issue in my head to where every other vehicle I see, the fucking light is fucking burnt out. Like, or some fucking, these people are just fucking saying this shit. Like, you're not gonna convince me of no shit like that, man. God gave me ears to hear. He gave me a brain to think. If I was fucking crazy or some shit, then I'd be fucking crazy. I don't discount the fact that there are crazy people out there, but this, if we are crazy, then we are a smart ass fucking crazy. Like, we are crazy that can predict things before they even happen. We are crazy that can fucking literally fucking sit there and break down the fucking program that is being, strategized against the population. Like, we are so fucking crazy whenever we try and fucking put anything out there, or research anything that has anything to do with government corruption or anything. We're so fucking crazy that we just turn crazy when those things seem to happen. Like, nobody's ever called us crazy before we fucking, went against the fucking, what would you call them? The big boys, Big Brother. Like, when you start questioning Big Brother, you do something to get Big Brother and his fucking little domestic terrorist rats fucking in a flurry, and you shake up the rat's nest, you're all of a sudden crazy and shit. Like, okay. You'll never get me to believe it, but maybe you'll get somebody else too. I ain't popping no fucking pills. Just like if you fucking take the Jabberoo. You take the Jabberoo and you'll never get the flu. But all of a sudden, people fucking took the Jabberoo and the booster, and now they fucking, all of a sudden it's not COVID no more. It's Omicron. Omicron 2022. Yeah, now you gotta take the fucking update for Omicron. Now you gotta take all these fucking updates and shit. You think they ain't hooking you up to something? You think they ain't sticking all types of fucking nanotechnology in you? Updates and shit to, your fucking frequencies ain't met this certain level yet, so we gotta make them think that they gotta take this Omicron bullshit so we can match these frequencies up to their body fucking. You guys watch. You watch when you become fucking zombies and shit. And you call that schizophrenia. I want to see you guys call that schizophrenia and shit when you guys be connected to fucking, radios and walkie-talkies and CBs, and people start hacking into your fucking subconscious and hacking into your brain and fucking speaking to you and shit in your head and shit. You call us crazy now? Okay. You keep calling us fucking crazy. Watch when you completely hook your ass up to the fucking system and shit. You gonna really think we're crazy because they're gonna fucking put the idea, they're gonna literally type in the fucking, these people are crazy, right on the fucking keyboard. You're gonna be hooked up to that fucking keyboard. You're gonna be hooked up to that keyboard. Wireless. The fuck you think they got all this wireless shit for? What do you think they got this 5G shit for? Why all of a sudden 5G comes out now, everybody got to take these fucking shots? Or jabs. Like, what the fuck is going on in your heads? I don't mind. You can call me crazy. You can call me delusional. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. But I guarantee you I won't be taking that shot or that jab. I guarantee you I won't be a fucking a willing fucking zombie. I don't think anybody, nobody, there's not a fucking job, fucking prestige. Like, you couldn't offer me 10 jobs. You couldn't say, man, I got 10 jobs where you can fucking just sit on your ass and collect money. And 10 fucking jobs. Non-stop. You can work all around the clock. You can make $20,000 fucking dollars a day. You can make $20,000 a day. I wouldn't give a fuck. You're not sticking shit in my arm. I'll stay in the same situation and position that I'm in right now. You are not that 20,000. What's $20,000 a day if you're not around to spend that shit? What the fuck are you gonna do with your $20,000 a day if you're not fucking around to spend that shit? And if you are around to spend it, you got some fucking ailment to where you're gonna have to use that shit for your medical bills for the rest of your fucking life. Nah, I'm okay. I think I'll just kick back like this. I'll watch you guys from a distance. I'll watch you guys turn into fucking zombies, but you're not gonna fucking update me. You guys got me updated enough. You guys got enough nanotechnology in me right now to fucking read my fucking brain and fucking see through my eyes and read my thought, all that shit. You got enough nano there. You're not. You're not gonna put any more than what you already got in me, champ. No, I'm not gonna be no willing participant in that. And you can call me schizophrenic. You can call me fucking anything in the world you want. I'll be sitting right here watching the show. It's gonna be like those movies and shit where it's like, you know, those people get the shot and or it's gonna be like Bird Box almost, or what was it, Bird Box or Bird Cage? Not so much to where everybody's killing themselves and shit, but yeah, you're gonna have fucking people chasing you down like zombies and shit. Take the shot. Take the shot. They're gonna be smiling and shit. Like, they're gonna be acting friendly and shit. Like, you're not gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to tell who's who and shit. Like, you're really gonna have to have shotguns and you're gonna have to be holding people back and shit. Look at these. The three gangsters, probably police officers, undercover cops. Look at the lingo. Look at the walk. Look at the walk. This is why. Look at the walk. Look at the walk. Imagine the fucking police belt on the hip. Imagine a police belt on the hip. Those are police officers right there. Their walk says it all, ladies and gentlemen. Their walk says it all. Yeah, whatever that movie is, though, like, you know, people are going to be chasing you down, fucking take the shot. Take the shot. You're going to have a shotgun, and you're going to really, it's going to be fucking people that are fucking legitimate people, but you're just not, it's going to be like this. It's going to be legitimate people coming at you saying, hey, man, we're with you, like, we're fucking against the shot, like, we don't want to fucking take the shot. And you're literally gonna have to fucking probably turn some good people away and shit just to fucking literally secure your safety and shit, because, you know, these people are gonna be devious and shit. They're gonna be stabbing you with needles and shit with fucking yeah, Lord knows what. They'll probably be eating your fucking flesh and all types of weird shit. Not saying that's gonna happen. I'm probably using my imagination a little bit with it, so I don't want nobody to think that I'm saying this is a fact and this is what's gonna happen, but, you know, that shot, you know one thing, they're not trying to force the world. Force. I don't know if I can say it enough for you guys. They're not trying to force the world with military intimidation. Food intimidation. We're going to stop your fucking food intimidation. They're not doing that for no reason at all. And people aren't taking this fucking shot and just fucking catching some fucking, all of a sudden, that now you're catching the Omicron and all this fucking bullshit. And people aren't just fucking, they're not just lying to you. It's, you know, people aren't having heart attacks and them lying to you and saying it's behind this fucking bullshit for no reason. Like, they're scaring you for a reason, forcing you to take shit for a reason. Don't mistake that shit. Pay attention. There's a reason why these doctors aren't taking that shit. There's a reason why a portion of these cops ain't taking that shit. There's a reason why they're saying, okay, well, you know, some people don't have to take this shit. You know, take it if you want to. Yup. Take that shit if you want to. Let's see. Pharmaceuticals are part of what they use to brainwash through MK Ultra, or you keep you from thinking. Definitely, college kid is a perk. I don't want to say he's a perk, but I will say that he's kind of like. It does sound like it. I'm not saying that, but you know whether it's not the medication, he might be going through something else. I mean, it's not gang stalking. He might be legitimately going through something else, and he probably found the targeted individual's channel or something, and maybe some of the things, because these are things that they say, they try and they relate this program, they use tactics to make us go through certain experiences that fucking people with schizophrenia go through and shit. So, he could legitimately be going through schizophrenia and shit, and he just found the wrong channel. So I don't wanna literally just say he's a perp or he's the police, but it just sounds that way. It does sound that way. I mean, they're doing the shit right before our very eyes, man. Like when you fucking, I mean, and you just see it, man. Fucking whatever this fucking dumbass's name is, Biden saying he's creating 3 billion jobs for the fucking America and shit. The only fucking jobs. People are literally fucking losing jobs. So what are the fucking 3 billion jobs you're creating? This gang stalking bullshit? This domestic terrorism shit? And why are you telling people you created 3 billion? Like, come on, man. It's just complete fucking bullshit. Look at this goofball. Like, this is a goofball that gets paid to fucking walk by me touching on himself. And just walk by looking like he's crazy. Like, literally. They just want me to, like, literally, they don't want me to see nothing else except this man touching on his fucking self. And that's all they want me to see. Or they want me to get out and say something to him. And if you guys pay attention when people walk by. Like when you see people walking by and doing shit, pay attention to how the numbers jump up. This is the police sending people over here. And then they jump, they get on here and they try and, it's almost like they sit here and bet on, is he going to react to him or is he not going to react to him? Is he going to say something? I bet you he says something. Like, I know that the police especially, like, I know that's police culture, whether you're inside a fucking jail, on the streets, they do shit to fucking disrupt the environment. Like that's how, like this program, they work this program a lot. Like this is more intricate than the bullshit they do in jail and in prison. But like in prison, like all the time, like around Christmas, and anybody who's been to prison on here, well, anybody who's been to a California prison, because this is how California prisons get down, and you can, anybody who's been to California prison, you can vouch for me on this. Any holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving, New Year's, 4th of July, anything to where it's like big family celebrations, those type of fucking things, the police do what they call, you know, they do shit they do shit, and then they earn what you call hazard pay. So what you would do is, so say the officer, he slips a kite into the fucking, this is a police officer. A police officer slip a kite into, because they have these boxes called kite boxes and shit, where you put your, if you want to see the doctor, you slip your kite in there. You ride a kite to go see the doctor. So you'll slip a kite into the medical box. And, they have snitches and shit. What they'll do, is they'll fucking, like snitches and shit that haven't been found out and shit. What they do is they fucking slip bullshit into the fucking, they snitch. Like if somebody has like drugs, whether it's like weed, heroin, or whatever, what they'll do is they'll fucking, they'll slip an anonymous kite in the box and say, like a lot of people who owe debts and shit, they'll do it. They'll slip kites in the box. But like, so the police do this thing where they'll slip a kite into the box, and they'll start some type of confusion with the Crips and the Bloods, or they'll start friction between two different cards, to where they'll either create a riot, or they'll say they got wind of a riot that's about to start, and they have to keep the whole facility on lockdown. And so what they do is they do that shit, and they get double pay. Like they because their original pay, their regular pay, becomes a hazard pay now. So now they're working in a hostile environment. They call it a hostile environment because, there's friction between two different, prison organizations or prison gangs or whatever you want to call them. So they, the police are very, they're very fucking, and it's like, you would think that the convicts, well, I'm not a convict no more, but a lot of convicts do know what the police are doing and shit, but they still fucking, they go along with the narrative and shit, whatever the police drop in the box and shit. Like, unless you don't have a sound-minded person who's running those cards and shit, like, you go with their narrative. And psychological warfare is not only a bitch because they can make other people think that you're crazy and shit, but you're really dealing with a serious threat when someone else can make you think that you're crazy and shit. Like when somebody can convince you that you're fucking crazy and shit, like that's like serious, man. That's deep. That's some of the deepest shit. Like, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for a lot of people, man. And most of them are adults, man, that think they're smart. All these fucking educated, college educated, Harvard fucking universities, or the people who try and fucking tell you they got so much fucking money and shit like that. Fucking look at this shit. That Target bag. Oh man, that's one of them ones too. That's one of them bags that that's one of them ones you don't throw away. You take that motherfucker with you. You take that motherfucker with you everywhere you go. That ain't gonna get ripped up. They ain't gonna have to keep giving her a Target bag. And all she gotta do is pretend like she's crazy. Just pretend like you're crazy. My recommendation is everybody. All that video that I posted up, the video before the live, the what would you do if you were Samuel Cassidy? Hey, if you guys, cause I'm gonna be vlogging pretty soon and shit. Like when I finish getting the this little fucking, I'm slowly but surely getting this vlogging shit together. I got my, I got a tripod today that's pretty. It's I don't know if it's professional or no shit like that, but it looks professional. It's pretty decent. And fucking it's not like the ones you have in your hands. It's the, I don't know, let me see if I can. Boy. It's pretty fucking big. If you guys can get the gist. If you guys can see, that's just the top of it. So I got that. I got some fucking some lights. Right now I'm working on fucking the actual camcorder. It's like a wireless camcorder that go like it can, you can Wi-Fi it to your phone and shit. But once I fully get every fucking thing, like I'm finna start vlogging these fucking people full time and doing fucking, I'm finna start fucking even people that aren't targets and shit. I'm gonna start asking people like how they feel about this domestic terrorism being ran in America and all these other places and shit. Like I haven't really got the full, like I got a idea of where I want to fucking take it to, but I just haven't fucking sat down and written a complete blueprint on it, because I just got ideas right now. But I'm definitely like I want to take this video shit to a whole different, this exposing this fucking shit to a whole different level and shit, not just fucking, I want to fucking bring it to the fucking people who don't know about it, and do it in a way to where like everything is controlled on the internet and shit, so our videos only go, like we gotta step outside the fucking box, man, and bring it to the people in a way that they'll fucking understand, and show them as it's happening and shit. And because it's not, this Target and shit, it don't just stop because we pick up a camcorder or recorder. If anything, in most cases, it makes these fucking weirdos more blatant and shit. Like it's like clout chasing and shit. They want to be in your fucking video, like their video fucking. Like literally, like, like I literally, like sometimes I got them enough on the channel and shit to fucking prove that they send them my way and shit. But lately they've been sending like that, and I noticed they do it now and shit because they're so blatant and shit. When they send them my way, they fucking jump up on the people that are watching. The count suddenly jumps up from like 9 people to 16, 17 and shit. It's all police and whoever sent them my way, but I've noticed they've been sending a robot or walkie-talkie mouth. They'll send walkie-talkie mouth to me, and I'll fucking act like I'm ignoring him and shit while I'm looking out my peripheral. Like, I'll ignore him and shit, and he'll fucking walk past me because he's expecting me to fucking, he's already off top expecting me to go at him and fucking start filming him and shit. But I'll hold back and shit, and I don't pay. I'll act like I'm ignoring him and shit. And he'll walk way down the fucking street, thinking I'm gonna chase behind him and shit. Cause usually I gotta run to my fucking van and get my fucking phone and put it on record and go chase him down. And, he'll fucking be standing by me for like 5 minutes talking all fast and shit. And then at first I used to fucking try and creep off to my fucking van and shit. But then he would just fucking, when I crept off, he'll notice me creeping to my van to grab the phone and he'll just take off. He'll take off. So, eventually I had to kind of almost sprint to my fucking van. And it's like when I ran to my van, he knew he wasn't gonna fucking be able to get away, so he just stood there and fucking just played the fucking role and did all the fucking fast talking bullshit. But now they send him my way expecting me to fucking go at him and shit and fucking film him and shit. And when I ignore him, I notice he'll fucking pay attention to me, and then he'll fucking just turn around to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and come walking towards me and shit. And I'll fucking, I wave my fucking hand like, "Nah, man, I don't want to hear that shit." Shake my head like, "Nah, can you just please leave me alone?" And he'll fucking take off and shit. But like before, man, like this is the shit they do. Like they literally like to fucking sit back and enjoy their handiwork. And fucking see, like they're clout chasing fucking pieces of shit. They're blatant. They're blatant in everything they do. That's why this program is gonna get shut down the way it's gonna get shut down. Like at first I had a feeling that it wouldn't be shut down. Like I had a feeling like they were too fucking smart. This program, like they'll never fucking, like they're gonna convince the world that we're fucking crazy and shit. But their blatantness, by them being so blatant and shit, like they're gonna get shut down. They don't know the meaning of like once they're unleashed on you and shit, and that they are fucking, when they're fucking make themselves available for you to realize who they are and shit, like they get addicted to that shit. Like, and if they can't see you reacting to that fucking bullshit, they go out their way. Like they literally, it's almost, yeah, like they get bonuses and shit to make you go out your way. It seems like, and they just become addicted to the shit. They want you to do something. They want you to flip out. They want to be the one to be hurting you and shit. They want to hurt your feelings and shit. They want you to look at the bend over. Look at this little boy bending over. Look at this shit. Can SJPD quit sending little kids to come bend over in tight shorts? Nobody over here wants to see little boys bending over in tight shorts. Nobody wants to see that. Get your perverted, fucking, nasty ass kids out of here. Fucking weird ass shit, man. I hate these fucking weirdos, man. Always fucking putting kids into the mix. This is why a 14-year-old is dead in Miami, ladies and gentlemen, because they put their fucking kids on the front line. SJPD, stop putting kids on the front line in your domestic terrorist program. These are children. You guys are worse than child molesters. Using children in your domestic terrorist program is worse than being a child molester. Quit putting children on the front line. Stop being cowards. Fucking pieces of shit. Putting kids on the front line to squat in fucking tight ass fucking shorts and shit. Disrespectful, man. Fucking respectful. And this is probably why that little 14-year-old got stabbed and shit. Cause they said he had a little fucking a dirt bike. He was probably doing the booty bandit shit. Probably had his ass stuck out in front of the fucking, you know, the targeted individual that fucking, you know, did what he did to him. Look at the car. Just pulled over to pick up those fucking weirdos, those two kids and shit. That car right there, and it got fucking, pay attention to the backlight. One is dark fucking red, and the other one is like a backup light. You fucking put those kids right there on the fucking front line. That piece of shit. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the fucking tail lights. Or he's on brake light right now, so you probably have to wait till it gets to fucking lights. To stop. This is what they do. They put children on the front line. This is why a 14-year-old is dead in Miami. This program is fucked up, man. These people are sick. These people are really fucking sick to fucking put children on the front line like that. Oh, man. It's sad to think. Yeah, they're notice they're sexualizing these fucking, and notice, I just parked somewhere else where someone else can't park behind me, right? I just parked. No one can park behind me because behind me is, the entrance to this place right here. But look who's right here. Right where I said. Every destination where there's going to be some place that I park that, you know, no one can park behind me, they have their fucking piece of shit motherfuckers fucking designated right there at those spots. 3 spots. 3 spots, ladies and gentlemen, that I fucking went to. And they always have someone designated at the fucking spot that no one can park behind me. Irritation in all forms, all around. Like, you're not getting away from this shit. Oh, you think you're gonna get away from us because you're gonna park someplace where we can't park in back of you? No. We're gonna have somebody set right there, right there waiting on you. We know where you're gonna go. We don't have to send the same person. We'll just designate people in every fucking spot. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you don't have to listen to me. You're seeing it happen right before your very eyes. Common sense fucking adds it up. Common sense is like the glue to this fucking shattered fucking piece of shit ass program. Common sense is the only glue you need to put this shit together. You don't need no fucking crazy glue. You don't need to super fucking think. You don't have to be no fucking think tank. Just use your fucking common sense. Fucking God gave you eyes and a brain. You don't even have to use your fucking ears. Just use your eyes and your fucking brain. I'm not no wise man. By far, like, I'm not no fucking I'm not gonna say like I'm not in the matrixly, you know, matrixly speaking. I haven't fucking graduated fucking college. I haven't fucking got no high school diploma or no fucking college fucking bachelor's degree or no fucking shit like that. Things that the fucking, you know, the normal fucking society would think it takes to make a person smart. I don't got none of that shit. So how is it possible for me to see what the fuck is going on? But all these fucking scholars and shit, all these so-called people who have this fucking high-priced education, and they talk all this big shit about talk all this big shit about how they know we're fucking schizophrenic and shit. Like, this shit is happening right before, like, who's the real person with the delusions? Like, literally, like, the shit that's happening to you, like, you're literally fucking, obviously you're forcing it out of your mind. Like, you're forcing delusions upon yourself and shit to fucking believe that this is delusions and shit. Like, you're making lights pop back on. You're making, you know, you're making burnt out fucking car lights pop back on. You're making people who fucking, you know, verbally fucking directing conversation at you, fucking, you're making that conversation go away. You're letting fucking people tell you, like, who is the fucking delusional one? Like, that's the question. Because it's not us. We ain't delusional. We're telling you exactly what the fuck we see and everybody else can see. But, and no, I'm just speaking to the general people now, the general public. I'm not. But, you know, I'm just saying though, who's the delusional one, you guys? You can call me crazy all you want. You can call all of us crazy, but the science, you're not going to call the science of this program crazy. I'm not going to let you call the science. I'm not going to let you call any other targeted individual crazy. I'm not going to let you say we're seeing delusions or none of that shit. Anytime fucking I can find a fucking something pops up on my feed about a fucking over a one person murder, if it was something other than a jealous husband or some fucking weird shit like that, mass shootings, I'm on them. And if I can fucking correlate them with this fucking program, if I see that this fucking you know, the first thing I look for is the fucking police, how the fucking police try and fucking present the case when they be fucking standing outside in front of their little podium and shit. Like they're fucking, you know, gonna get down to the bottom of shit. Like they don't know what the fuck is going on. Those are the fucking, that's what I want to see. I want to see how they try and close up the situation. This guy was a monster. Or this, you know, had a mental illness. If I hear those two things, I'm on it. I'm on it like a motherfucker. Anybody who can fucking send me any type of video that fucking correlates to this story, because I'm going to be putting this shit in all my vlogs. Well, not all my vlogs and shit, but these are the type of fucking questions and fucking, this is the type of shit I'm gonna be posing on the public. If this program is supposed to be cleaning the streets, predictive policing, quote unquote, they say it's supposed to clean up the streets. If it's cleaning up the streets, how is it cleaning up the streets? Like, if anything, it's making the crimes worse than they were before. Murder, suicide, not no petty thefts no more. Like, you're hiring all the fucking petty thievers to fucking psychologically warfare people. Like, there's a reason for that. Like, you're not locking up people who fucking do drugs. You're not locking up people who do petty thefts no more. You're not locking up none of these fucking... you guys have a big agenda. Like, there's nowhere in the world you want to be locking these people up and harassing people who aren't doing nothing just for the hell of it. There's a reason behind what you're doing. There's a method to the madness you're creating in people's heads. You're not gonna call this crazy no more. That shit is done. Over. It doesn't exist no more. Why doesn't it exist anymore, Nappy? Because we now know there's a science behind what they're doing. And even though they try and call us delusional, they cannot call the science delusional. And they will not call us delusional anymore, based on the fact that the science, we now know the science. We now know how to fight these motherfuckers back. Like, they can't, there's no way in the world they're gonna get away with calling us delusional again. That's why I highly recommend people who are going through this fucking shit, take your evidence down, but also research psychological warfare. Research that shit. And that shit will tell in the simplest fucking way. Like, it's not real fucking, it's not real fucking complicated. The way they break it down to you, like, it's step by step how this fucking psychological warfare shit works. It's like psychological warfare for dummies and shit, literally. It's complete common fucking sense. Complete common sense. Pushing people into their fucking animalistic fucking survival tactics and shit. You resort back to your instincts, whatever's gonna keep you, if somebody's pointing a gun at you, unless you're frozen like a fucking deer in the headlights and shit, it ain't no fucking telling what you're gonna do. Like, different people react. Like, depending on who I point a gun at, if I was to own a gun, I don't own a gun, so don't nobody get that mixed up. I do not own a gun. But I am saying, if I was to point a gun at someone, depending on the person that I pointed at, everybody's gonna have a different reaction. One person might try and fight me and take the gun. Some person might turn around and run away. Some people might just fucking freeze up and fucking, they'd be so shocked and surprised that fucking, they don't know what to do, and they're just fucking stuck like a deer in the headlights. Like, everybody has a different reaction to the shit that's being casted out on them, man. Like, and that's why we really need to research fucking psychological warfare, man. Because they know for every reaction, for everything, like I said, for fucking, if someone points a gun, for every person that's gonna act different, they know every single possible way that someone would, like, there's way more ways that a person will react to a gun being pointed at than the 3 examples that I put out there. But I just put 3 examples just to, keep it short. Like, and best believe for every single person's reaction they have regarding this program, like, say this program is the gun, they have a tactic for every single fucking reaction. For a person who's against this, for a person who's gonna just fucking, take it on the chin, just for whatever fucking reaction that they fucking, there's a tactic for it. Because they know they can base their fucking psychology pretty much off of that, just that reaction of their fucking tactic. That's why if you look on YouTube, look up social experiments. Just look up social experiments. If you research fucking social experiments and shit, and try and do social experiments like not in America, like do social experiments in India, social experiments in China and shit, because they get a little fucking, America is a little fucking, they're a little fucking censored on their fucking social experiments, like China, fucking India, and Russia and shit. Like, they get real fucking like their fucking social experiments get real fucking psychological. Like, a lot of psychological fucking bullshit that we go through and shit. Like, I see, like in India, for instance, like they use the stalking method on like this female. And like everywhere she was going, like she was at this fucking game, like sitting on the bleachers at a game, and fucking one dude sat next to her and just fucking started looking at her and just staring at her. She tried to get away from him, and another guy just came up. And these are like real fucking, they're like real pervert like dudes and shit. They got short shorts on and shit, like, to where fucking like they're like 19. They're almost like fucking swimming trunks and shit. But they're not swimming trunks, they're just like shorts. And then fucking, just real pervert looking motherfuckers, man. And they're looking at this girl and shit, scratching themselves and shit. They get real fucking psychological in their social experiments. They be having spousal abuse social experiments and shit. Like, and literally, like with those social experiments, you see how they guide the public into the narrative. It's like street theater. It's basically street theater, but not are they anchoring and guiding one person into their bullshit, but like they're fucking bringing in the collective of people surrounding them and shit. So like you have different people. You have different people reacting differently to this fucking social experiment, to where like this dude is acting like this dude is acting like he's fucking talking shit to his wife and shit, and some people are just standing there fucking covering their mouth. You got some fucking people going there trying to stop the fucking, stop them. Like, fucking, it's just hella different. It's crazy, man. Them social experiments is crazy, man. And, you can tell, like, in the psychological warfare, they're playing out of a fucking psychological warfare, but playing straight off their shit. We will see in the future, though, ladies and gentlemen. We will see in the future that, there's a lot more to come when it comes to this program. And with that being said, it's 8:38. I gotta get at least an hour and a half rest before I start recycling and shit. So I'll probably start another video I'll probably start again as I start recycling and shit. It's gonna be more of a, you know, the next live I do, you guys, it'll be more for you guys to be able to conversate with each other and shit. It's not gonna be I'm not gonna be too much talking in it because I'm gonna be driving and shit. So a lot of yeah, it'll be more for you guys. Alright, you guys.